The irony hit me at 11:47 p.m. on a Thursday in March, sitting in HR Director Patricia Reeves's office, watching grainy security footage of my wife, the same woman who'd given 14 speeches on workplace ethics that year, pressing her mentee against the wall of Conference Room 4B, her Women in Leadership Summit badge still clipped to her blazer. If you've got some time, maybe grab some coffee or something stronger, because this is going to take a while. It's not a short story, it's not a simple story, and honestly, I'm still processing parts of it myself. So, here's the question that kept me up for weeks. Why did I stay silent for 48 hours after I found out? Why did I watch her lie to my face, watch her perform her perfect life, knowing that everything, every single thing, was about to explode? This is a story about a 12-year marriage that ended in a single weekend, about a woman who built her career preaching equity and boundaries, only to violate every principle she ever championed. About a LinkedIn post that went viral for all the wrong reasons. And about the moment I realized that being kind doesn't mean being small. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. My name is Thomas. I'm 38, a senior engineer lead at a tech company in Austin called Tech Nova Solutions. My wife, ex-wife now, but we'll get there, was Sarah, 36. Department head of product development, rising star, the kind of woman who gives TED-style talks with titles like Breaking the Glass Ceiling with Integrity and Mentorship Without Boundaries. She had a speaker badge from some Women in Leadership Summit stuck to our fridge with a magnet. I used to be proud of that badge, thought it represented everything she was. Turned out it represented everything she wasn't. We met in college, computer science program at UT Austin. I was the quiet one who actually liked coding. She was the one who knew how to network, how to sell herself, how to turn a group project into a leadership opportunity. We balanced each other, or so I thought. After graduation, we both ended up at Technova, different teams at first. Then she climbed, manager at 27, senior manager at 30, department head at 34. I stayed senior engineer, turned down management roles twice because honestly I preferred the work, and because Sarah said we shouldn't compete. Looking back, I think she just didn't want me to compete. We lived in a modern townhouse in East Austin. Dual income, no kids. That was Sarah's call. She was career-focused. I was fine with it. Our life looked perfect from the outside. Morning coffee together before work. Dinner most nights, even if it was takeout. Weekend brunches at those trendy spots on South Congress. Her Instagram was full of couple photos, with captions like, "Blessed or grateful for my partner in crime." I thought we were solid. The cracks started small. So small I didn't even register them as cracks at first. Just changes. Around August of last year, 2023, Sarah started staying late on Thursdays, every Thursday. She'd come home around 11, sometimes midnight, talking about mentorship sessions with Kyle. Kyle was this 27-year-old junior developer on her team. Fresh out of a coding boot camp, trying to make up for not having a CS degree. Insecure kid. Sarah talked about him a lot. She'd say things like, "He reminds me of myself at that age, so hungry to prove himself." Or, "He's going to be a senior engineer in 2 years if I have anything to say about it." I thought it was noble. Sarah had always been about paying it forward, about lifting people up. That's what her whole public persona was built on. So when she said she was staying late, to help Kyle work through imposter syndrome, to prep him for presentations, to review his code, I believed her. Why wouldn't I? There was this one time, back in October, when I had to drop off her laptop at the office. She'd forgotten it at home and had a big meeting. I walked into her section of the building and found them in the break room. Kyle's hand was on her shoulder. They both startled when they saw me. Jumped apart like I'd caught them doing something wrong. Sarah laughed it off. "Oh my God, you scared us." Kyle was just showing me this funny meme. I handed her the laptop and left. Didn't think about it again. If you've ever ignored a red flag because confronting it would mean admitting something's wrong, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Our sex life declined around the same time. Not disappeared, just less frequent, less intense. When I brought it up, Sarah said she was exhausted. I'm carrying an entire team, Thomas. I'm stressed. The company's going through restructuring. Just be patient with me. So I was patient. I was always patient with Sarah. That was my role. The supportive husband, her rock. I'd hear her friends say it at parties, always with this slight edge of pity. Thomas is so good to her. He really lets her shine. Like letting her shine was my entire identity. Valentine's Day was the breaking point, though I didn't know it at the time. I made reservations at Uchi, this high-end Japanese place where we'd had our first real date 12 years ago. I was going to make it special, surprise her. But at 6 p.m., she called. Emergency. Kyle's freaking out about his presentation tomorrow. I need to stay and help him prep. I'm so sorry, babe. We'll do it this weekend, okay? I ate alone at Uchi that night, sat at the bar, watched couples around me being couples, and told myself this was what marriage looked like. Sacrifice, compromise. She'd do the same for me. Except she wouldn't. But I didn't know that yet. March 8th, Friday. I remember the date because it's burned into my brain like a brand. I was in a meeting when my phone buzzed. Patricia Reeves, HR director. Text message. Thomas, I need you to come to my office tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. Please don't mention this to Sarah. I stared at that text for a full minute. My first thought was that I was in trouble. Had I said something inappropriate? Missed some training? But then the second sentence registered. Don't mention this to Sarah. Why would I mention an HR meeting to Sarah unless it was about Sarah? I couldn't sleep that night. Sarah came home late, Thursday night of course, and crawled into bed beside me. I lay there in the dark, listening to her breathe, trying to figure out what the hell HR wanted. Part of me wondered if she was getting promoted. Maybe Patricia wanted to tell me first as a courtesy. I'm an idiot. Saturday morning, I drove to the office. The parking lot was empty except for Patricia's car and one other I didn't recognize. The building felt wrong on a weekend. Too quiet, too still. Patricia met me at the door, with this look on her face. Pity mixed with professional distance. She led me to her office where a man in a suit was waiting. Marcos, company lawyer. That's when my stomach dropped. We need to talk about Sarah, Patricia said. She gestured to a chair. Please sit down. An anonymous complaint was filed. Wednesday, Marcus explained, sliding a folder across the desk. Allegation of inappropriate conduct between a department head and her direct report. Abuse of power, favoritism, we're required to investigate. I laughed. Actually laughed. That's insane. Sarah literally wrote the company's DEI handbook. She gives talks about workplace ethics. This has to be a mistake. Patricia's expression didn't change. Thomas, we need to show you something. She opened a laptop and angled it toward me. Security footage, black and white, grainy, time-stamped in the corner. Conference room 4B, January 18th, 11:34 p.m. 2 figures. I recognized them immediately, even though part of my brain was screaming that I didn't, that I couldn't, that this wasn't real. Sarah and Kyle, kissing, not a peck, not a friendly hug gone wrong. Full on, pressed against the wall, hands in hair, kissing like they were drowning and each other was air. Patricia, click to the next clip. February 1st, 10:52 p.m. Same room, more intimate. I don't need to describe it. You can imagine. Another clip, parking garage, February 22nd, 12:14 a.m. Long embrace by her car. Him saying something I couldn't hear, her laughing, touching his face. The world tilted. I remember gripping the arms of the chair, feeling like if I let go I'd fall into the floor and never stop falling. That's not everything, Marcus said quietly. Our IT department pulled Slack messages from the server. Sarah attempted to delete them, but nothing's ever really deleted. He slid printouts toward me. Kyle, I can't keep doing this. Someone will find out. Sarah, you're overthinking. We're careful. And honestly, after everything I've done for your career, you owe me a little trust. Kyle, that's not fair. Sarah, life isn't fair, but I can make yours easier. Or harder. Your choice. I read that exchange 3 times. The threat was barely veiled. She was his boss. She controlled his performance reviews, his project assignments, his entire career trajectory, and she was using that power to keep him quiet. I stood up fast, chair scraping back. "Where's your bathroom?" I threw up, knelt on the cold tile floor of the HR bathroom and vomited until there was nothing left. Then I sat there, forehead pressed against my arm, and tried to breathe. When I came back, Patricia handed me a water bottle. "I'm sorry," she said. "I know this is devastating," I finished. The word felt inadequate. Marcus leaned forward. "Thomas, we need to understand the timeline. We need to interview Kyle, and we need to interview you. As her spouse, you may have information that's relevant to the investigation." "Why me?" I asked. My voice sounded hollow. "Because you're listed as her emergency contact," Patricia said, "and because spouses often know more than they realize, even when they don't know they know it. So I told them everything. The late Thursday nights that started in August, the conference badge on our fridge, the Valentine's Day dinner she canceled, the project deadlines she claimed were urgent that I now realized probably didn't exist." Patricia took notes. Marcus recorded it. And with every detail I shared, I watched my marriage dissolve in real time. "We interviewed Kyle yesterday," Patricia said carefully. "He confirmed the relationship. He also stated that he attempted to end it multiple times, but felt he couldn't because of the professional implications." "She coerced him," I said. "It wasn't a question." Patricia nodded. "That's our assessment. Kyle's 27. He's a junior developer with no CS degree trying to make it in a competitive field. Sarah is his direct supervisor. The power imbalance is significant. Something cold settled in my chest. Sarah didn't just cheat on me. She abused someone vulnerable. She became the exact thing she spent her career condemning. "We're moving forward with termination proceedings," Marcus said. "For cause. Multiple violations. Fraternization policy, abuse of power, ethics code violations, potential creation of hostile work environment. It'll be company-wide knowledge by Monday." I should have felt something. Relief, maybe. Vindication. But mostly I just felt numb. "You have 48 hours before we officially notify Sarah," Patricia said. "I'm telling you now as a courtesy. You seem like a good person in a terrible situation. What you do with this information is up to you, but please don't interfere with our investigation." "What happens to Kyle?" I asked. "Reprimand," Patricia said. "Transfer to a different team. He's a victim here too." I drove home in a daze. Sarah was at some women in tech brunch. I sat in our living room, her living room really, since she'd decorated everything, and stared at that Women in Leadership Summit badge on the fridge. Looked at our wedding photo on the mantle. 12 years. 12 years of being her support system, her cheerleader, her fucking prop. My phone buzzed. "Sarah. Brunch running long. Be home by 4. Love you." I stared at that text. Love you. Did she love me? Had she ever? Or was I just convenient? The stable, loyal husband who stayed in the background and let her shine. I had a choice to make. I could tell her, warn her, give her time to prepare, maybe even spin the narrative. That's what she'd expect. That's what I'd always done, smoothed things over, made life easier for her. Or I could wait. Watch her lie, see who she really was when she thought no one was looking. I texted back, "Feel better, see you tonight." Then I waited. Sarah came home at 4:30, carrying leftover pastries from the brunch. She was wearing this flowy sundress, her hair perfect, makeup perfect, everything perfect. She kissed my cheek. "Missed you," she said. "How was your morning?" "Quiet. Just caught up on some work. We ordered Thai food, sat on the couch watching some Netflix show. She checked her phone. Constantly. Smiling at messages I now knew were probably from Kyle. At one point she said, Kyle's freaking out about Monday's sprint review. I might need to stay late Thursday to prep him. Thursday, I repeated. Of course. She didn't catch my tone. Are you okay? You seem off. Just tired, I said. That night, she fell asleep easily. I lay beside her, watching her breathe, wondering how someone could compartmentalize like this. How could she live this double life so seamlessly? How could she come home to me after being with him and act like everything was normal? Sunday morning, Sarah worked on a presentation. Ethical Leadership in the Modern Workplace, scheduled for the company town hall on March 20th. I watched her rehearse. Slide 4. Power dynamics require constant vigilance. We must hold ourselves to the highest standards. Slide 8. Mentorship is sacred. We're shaping careers, not playing favorites. She asked me for feedback. I said, "It's perfect. Really embodies who you are." She beamed. "Thanks, babe. You always know what to say." The double meaning didn't register for her, but it registered for me. Her mom called that afternoon. FaceTime. Eleanor gushed about Sarah's upcoming panel at South by Southwest. "We're so proud. Our daughter, the trailblazer." Sarah ate it up, playing the humble achiever. "Mom, stop. Thomas is the real hero. He keeps everything running while I chase my dreams." I forced a smile. Her whole family worships her. This will destroy them. The thought gave me no pleasure, but it felt necessary. That night, Sarah initiated sex for the first time in 6 weeks. I couldn't do it. My body wouldn't cooperate. "Hey," she said, turning on the bedside lamp. "It's okay. You've been stressed." She wrapped her arm around me like everything was fine, like she wasn't fucking her 27-year-old subordinate. She fell asleep quickly. I stared at the ceiling until sunrise. Monday morning, we drove to work separately, like usual. I got there early. Couldn't face anyone. Saw Sarah in the company cafe around 10, laughing with Kyle. He looked uncomfortable, kept glancing around nervously. She touched his arm, leaned in close, whispered something. He nodded reluctantly. Even knowing everything, she was still manipulating him. My phone buzzed. "Patricia. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 8 a.m., Sarah will be notified of investigation and placed on administrative leave. Media relations team briefed. Please be unreachable tomorrow morning." I called my friend Derek. We'd worked together for years, gone through his divorce 2 years ago. "Dude, what's going on?" he asked when I asked to crash at his place. "I'll tell you tomorrow," I said. "Just, can I stay with you tonight?" "Of course. You okay?" "No, but I will be." Monday night was the last normal evening. Sarah brought home Thai food again. "Thought we could use a nice meal," she said. "I feel like we've been distant." We ate at the kitchen table. She talked about Kyle's progress. "He's really flourishing under my guidance. I think he'll be senior engineer in 2 years." "What if he wants to move to another team?" I asked. Her expression sharpened. "Why would he do that?" "I'm the best mentor he could ask for. Just asking." She softened. "Sorry. I'm protective of my mentees. It's important work." I packed a bag that night while she slept. Left at 5:30 the next morning with a text. "Not feeling well. Working from Derek's today. Don't want to get you sick." She replied immediately. "Feel better, babe." I turned off my phone. 8 a.m. Tuesday, March 12th. Sarah walked into her office. Patricia and Marcus were waiting. I wasn't there to see it. Found out later she walked in smiling. By 8:17, her entire world had ended. I turned my phone back on at 8:30. 47 missed calls, 23 texts. The progression was fascinating in a sick way. "Where are you?" 8:19 a.m. "Call me right now." 8:22 a.m. "They're accusing me of horrible things." 8:31 a.m. "Thomas, I need you." 8:45 a.m. "How can you abandon me right now?" 9:12 a.m. The last text, sent at 10:27 a.m. "Fine. I guess I know where your loyalty lies. Don't bother coming home." Derek read them over my shoulder. "Holy shit," he said. She's been gaslighting you for months. Derek told me about his own divorce. Caught his wife cheating, tried to fix it. Wasted 2 more years being miserable. Don't protect her, he said. She wouldn't protect you. Document everything. So I did. I called a divorce attorney that afternoon, Rachel Morrison. She was direct, experienced, took no bullshit. Texas is a no-fault state, she explained. But infidelity can affect asset division if you can prove she spent marital assets on the affair. More importantly, her professional misconduct could affect her earning capacity. That impacts alimony. I don't want alimony, I said. I want her to face consequences for abusing her power. Rachel studied me. Then, we need to be strategic. Don't tip your hand too early. We pulled financial records, joint accounts, credit card statements. The discoveries made me sick. Hotel Ella, this boutique place downtown, on Thursday nights when she said she was at the office. Expensive dinners for 2 at restaurants I'd never been to. A couple's spa package in January when she told me she was at a team retreat. Total, $4,800 of our money spent on her affair over 6 months. That's financial infidelity, Rachel said. We can use this. I realized Sarah's iPad at home synced to her iCloud. Used it to access her personal email. Found draft messages to Kyle she'd never sent. One made me close the laptop and walk away for 10 minutes. I can't leave Thomas yet. It'll look bad for my career right before SXSW. Once I make VP, we can go public. Just be patient. I wasn't a partner to her. I was a career obstacle. Sarah was already controlling the narrative online. LinkedIn post, Tuesday evening. Sometimes the strongest thing we can do is take time for self-care, stepping back from work temporarily to focus on personal growth. Boundaries. Self-love. The comments were nauseating. You're so brave. Take your time, queen. Keep rising. She was painting herself as the victim of some undefined crisis, and everyone was buying it. Rachel said, let her dig the hole deeper. Patience. But patience is hard when you're watching someone weaponize victimhood. Thursday, March 14th. Patricia arranged for me to meet Kyle. Neutral space, mediator present. Kyle looked like he'd aged 5 years in 3 days. Mr. Chen, he said immediately. I'm so sorry. I know that sounds hollow. Tell me the truth, I said. Did she coerce you? Long pause. At first it felt mutual, but when I tried to end it, she implied she'd block my promotion. I felt trapped. His voice broke. I still made a choice. I hurt you. I hurt her husband. Something in me unclenched. Kyle, you're 27. She was your boss. This wasn't equal. You were a victim too. He started crying. Silent, ashamed tears. I realized then that Sarah had done to both of us what she did best, made us feel like we were the problem. Friday, Patricia called. Investigation concluded. Finding, termination for cause. Multiple violations, ethics code, abuse of power, hostile work environment creation. Sarah was officially fired. Additionally, the company had contacted the organizations where she was scheduled to speak. SXSW panel. She was removed from the lineup. Her co-authorship of the DEI handbook would be stripped from the next edition. I had a decision tree in front of me. Option A, divorce quietly. Let professional consequences be enough. Option B, tell family and close friends control the narrative. Option C, go nuclear on social media, destroy her reputation completely. I chose a modified version of B with elements of C. Tell the truth to people who deserved it. If Sarah tried to publicly paint herself as a victim, I'd release receipts. Otherwise, let her professional downfall speak for itself. Rachel filed divorce papers. Served to Sarah at her sister Christine's house on Monday, March 18th. I drafted letters to Sarah's parents, my own family, our mutual friends. Same theme in all of them. Champions of equity don't get to pick and choose who deserves fairness. Sunday, March 17th. I went back to our townhouse while Sarah was at Christine's. Needed to get some belongings. Found Sarah's journal on the bedside table. She'd always been a journaler. I opened to a random page. December 2023. Kyle is everything Thomas isn't. Young, eager, exciting. Thomas has become so small. He's content being in my shadow. Kyle sees me as I actually am. Brilliant, powerful, necessary. I photographed that page. Not because I needed more evidence. Because I needed to remember that she saw my kindness as weakness. That she viewed my support as submission. That I'd been married to someone who found me contemptible. I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. Monday, March 18th. Process server delivered divorce papers to Sarah. She called immediately. "You're divorcing me?" "Yes. We can work through this. Couples therapy. I made a mistake, but you made a choice," I said, repeatedly, for 8 months, while lecturing others about ethics. "Don't you dare judge me. You've always held me back with your mediocrity." There it was, the contempt she'd written about. "There it is," I said. "The truth. Silence. Then, what? You wrote in your journal that I'm mediocre, that I'm small, that Kyle is everything I'm not. You read my journal." Her voice pitched higher. "I photographed it, and I have copies of everything. Hotel receipts, emails, Slack messages HR recovered. Financial records showing you spent almost $5,000 of our money on your affair. You can't use that against me." "That's private. So was my marriage," I said. "So was Kyle's right to a workplace free from coercion." "You didn't care about privacy then." She hung up, called back 17 times. I didn't answer. Tuesday, March 19th. I met Sarah's parents at their house in Pflugerville, Eleanor and Robert. Good people, conservative, religious, proud of their daughter. This was going to hurt. I showed them everything. Timeline, evidence, Kyle's testimony about feeling trapped, the financial infidelity. Eleanor broke down. "This can't be real. Sarah's the good one. She's the one who... She lied to you," Robert said quietly. His voice was shaking. "About everything." "I'm sorry," I said. "I know she's your daughter, but you needed to know who she really is." Eleanor's phone kept buzzing, Sarah calling. She ignored it. "What will people say?" Eleanor whispered. "She's supposed to speak at..." "SXNW canceled her," I said. "The company removed her from the DEI handbook. It's already done." Robert looked at me with something like respect. "Thank you for telling us before she could spin it." Wednesday night I met with our mutual friends, Jake and Melissa, Brian and Kendra. Sarah had already texted them. "Thomas abandoned me during a mental health crisis. Please be there for me." I brought printed evidence, blacked out the intimate details but showed the pattern. The lies, the financial fraud, the abuse of power. Melissa, Sarah's college roommate, looked sick. I defended her to my husband yesterday. I feel like an idiot. "She told me you were controlling and jealous," Jake said. I believed her. They agreed unanimously. No contact with Sarah until she took accountability. Spoiler alert, she never did. Thursday, March 21st. Sarah made her biggest mistake. She posted on LinkedIn without telling anyone. "I'm heartbroken to share that I'm going through a difficult divorce. My husband has chosen to abandon our marriage during my career transition. To anyone else facing a partner who can't handle your success, you are not alone. Keep rising." Resilience. Women's support, the post, went semi-viral. 385 likes in 2 hours, 67 supportive comments. "You're so brave. Your ex doesn't deserve you. Queen behavior." I saw it during lunch, felt white-hot rage for the first time through this whole thing. Called Rachel. "She's making me the villain. Can I respond?" "Legally, yes," Rachel said. "Strategically, let me help you draft it." But I wrote my own version. Rachel approved it. I posted it as a comment first, then as a separate post. I've stayed silent out of respect for privacy, but I won't allow lies to stand unchallenged. I am not divorcing my wife because I can't handle her success. I'm divorcing her because, 1, she engaged in an 8-month affair with her 27-year-old subordinate, a junior developer she mentored and supervised. 2, when he attempted to end the relationship, she implied career retaliation, creating a hostile work environment. 3, she spent $4,800 of our marital funds on hotel rooms and dinners with him while telling me she was working late. 4, she violated every ethics policy she helped write as a DEI advocate and public speaker on workplace integrity. Her former employer investigated and terminated her for cause due to abuse of power and ethics violations. This is documented. This is not a career transition. It's consequences. To anyone facing a partner who weaponizes victimhood after betrayal, you are not alone. Champions of equity don't get to pick and choose who deserves fairness. I'm sharing this not for sympathy, but for truth. I wish her healing and genuine accountability. I'm moving forward. I hit post, closed my laptop, waited. The response was nuclear. Within 4 hours, 2,400 likes, 840 comments, shared over 200 times across the Austin tech community. Comments split into camps. 70% supported me. I always thought she seemed fake, typical narcissist behavior. Thank you for speaking up. 20% wanted Sarah's side. Innocent until proven guilty. He could be lying. 10% attacked me for airing dirty laundry online. But the damage was done. Sarah's professional reputation imploded in real time. Women in Tech Austin quietly removed her from the leadership board. 2 upcoming conferences rescinded speaking invitations. Former colleagues started commenting. I always wondered about her favoritism toward Kyle. Sarah tried to delete her original post. Too late. Screenshots everywhere. She posted damage control. I take full responsibility for my mistakes, but the public shaming is... Her sister Christine begged her to stop. Sarah refused. Spiraled into a multi-post rant about cancel culture and trial by social media. Each post made it worse. By Friday evening, her LinkedIn was set to private. Didn't matter. Screenshots were on Reddit's Austin local tech Slack channels everywhere. Saturday, March 23rd. Sarah showed up at Derek's house. Must have figured out I was there. Pounded on the door. "Thomas, talk to me." Derek stood beside me when I opened it. She looked destroyed, disheveled, mascara streaked, shaking. "You destroyed my life," she said. "My entire life. Are you happy?" "You destroyed your own life," I said. "I just refuse to help you hide it. I made one mistake. You're acting like I'm a monster. One mistake." I kept my voice level. "Sarah, you abused your power. You coerced Kyle. You lied to me every single day for 8 months. You used our money to fund your affair. And then, when caught, you tried to make me the villain. I loved you." Her voice cracked. "I still love you. We can fix this. You wrote in your journal that I'm mediocre, that I'm small, that Kyle is everything I'm not." I watched her face change as she realized I had that entry. "You didn't love me. You loved what I provided. Unconditional support while you built your empire. I was your prop." She broke down, collapsed against the doorframe. "Please, I'll do anything. Therapy, I'll quit tech, anything. It's too late. And honestly, I don't want to fix it. Because I finally see you, and I don't like what I see. Everyone will remember me as the cheater," she whispered. "The hypocrite. My career is over. Champions of equity don't get to pick and choose who deserves fairness. You taught me that. You wrote that in the DEI handbook. Maybe it's time you lived it." She left sobbing, sent 47 texts that night, alternating between apologetic and threatening. "I'll kill myself and it'll be your fault." Rachel advised documenting everything, considering a restraining order if it continued. I didn't pursue one. Just kept the texts. Sunday, March 24th. Patricia called. "Thomas, you should know. Kyle resigned Friday, said he can't stay in tech after this. He's moving back to Oregon to live with his parents. Guilt hit me like a freight train. Did I go too far? Kyle was a victim too. Patricia seemed to read my mind. It's not your fault, Thomas. This was Sarah's doing. But I thought you'd want to know. I sat with that for a long time. Because even though I'd told Kyle he was a victim, the internet didn't see it that way. They saw him as the home wrecker, and my LinkedIn post had contributed to that narrative. That's the moment I wondered if I'd crossed a line. The fallout was comprehensive. Sarah's family fractured. Eleanor stopped speaking to her. Robert insisted she move out of Christine's house. You lied to your sister, too. Sarah ended up in a budget motel in Round Rock, posted on Instagram, private account, but friends screenshot and shared. Photo of a dingy motel room, caption, rock bottom, alone, thanks to the man who promised for better or worse. Even her close friends started distancing. Maybe take time offline. This feels manipulative. Women in Tech Austin made an official announcement. Due to ethics violations incompatible with our mission, we've removed Sarah Chen from our leadership board. Local tech meetups quietly asked her not to attend. The church her parents attended, First Methodist Austin, tried to help. The pastor reached out for pastoral counseling. Sarah went once, defended herself angrily. Everyone's judging me. The pastor tried to explain he wasn't there to judge, but to help her examine her actions. She stormed out, never went back. Financially, Sarah crashed hard, applied to 43 companies over 6 weeks. 0 interviews. Her LinkedIn post was the first result when anyone Googled her name. Tech community is small. Everyone talks. Her unemployment benefits were denied because she was terminated for cause. Savings drained fast. Divorce lawyer fees, temporary housing, credit card debt, industry reputation was permanently damaged. Anonymous posts on tech job boards clearly about her. Anyone else notice Sarah Chen completely vanished from leadership circles? Reminder: sleeping with your reports will end your career, regardless of gender. She tried rebranding, created new LinkedIn under SC Williams using her middle name and maiden name. Didn't work. People connected the dots. One sympathetic recruiter told her off record, "You need to leave Austin, try Seattle or San Francisco." But honestly, you burned the bridge. You literally wrote the ethics handbook you violated. SXSW sent an email. Due to conduct violations, you are ineligible to speak or attend SXSW in any future capacity. Women in Leadership Summit. We've decided to discontinue our relationship. Her speaking agent dropped her. Before the scandal, Sarah made $145,000 a year. Rising to VP track. 6-figure speaking deals on the horizon. After, unemployed, living in a motel, $38,000 in debt. By May, she was forced to take a job at a small startup in Dallas. $65,000. No management role. Had to move away from Austin where everyone knew her. But the emotional fallout was the hardest to watch. Christine called me mid-April. I know you hate her, but she's not okay. Sarah had stopped eating regularly. Had panic attacks when she saw tech workers in coffee shops. Cried constantly. Couldn't sleep. She mentioned hurting herself. I don't know if it's serious or manipulation. I felt the weight of that. Should I check on her? Derek said no. That's what she wants. She made her bed. Rachel said I could call for a wellness check if genuinely concerned, but shouldn't engage directly. Late April, Christine called 988, the suicide prevention line, on Sarah's behalf. Police conducted a welfare check at Sarah's Dallas apartment. Sarah was humiliated, furious, posted on private Instagram. My own sister called the police on me. My ex-husband has turned everyone against me. I'm the victim of a coordinated harassment campaign. I saw the screenshots, felt guilty and frustrated in equal measure. Was I responsible for her mental state? But then I remembered, she wasn't suicidal when she was fucking Kyle in conference room 4B. She's only falling apart because she got caught. Early May, I got an email from Kyle. Mr. Chen, I'm in therapy now. My therapist helped me realize Sarah groomed me. I thought I was an equal participant, but she had all the power. I'm sorry I contributed to your pain. I'm also sorry the internet destroyed me too. I know that's not your fault, but I want you to know. I'm one of her victims too, even if people don't see it that way. I responded immediately. Kyle, I believe you. You were young, vulnerable, and she exploited that. I'm sorry my LinkedIn post hurt you too. That wasn't my intention, but I take responsibility for the collateral damage. I hope you heal. We didn't stay in touch, but I felt closure. Late May, I ran into Kyle's former co-worker, Amanda, at a coffee shop. She pulled me aside. Hey, I just wanted to say, thank you for speaking up. Kyle wasn't the only one. Sarah created a toxic environment for our whole team. We were all scared of her. Why didn't anyone report her? I asked. Because she was untouchable, Amanda said. She was the DEI champion. Who would have believed us? That conversation changed something in me. I'd been spiraling into guilt, wondering if I'd gone too far. But Amanda reminded me, Sarah didn't just hurt me or Kyle. She was a systemic problem, and systems don't fix themselves. I started therapy in April. Dr. Nina Patel, weekly sessions. We talked about codependency, conflict avoidance, rebuilding self-worth. You sacrificed your own ambitions to support someone who saw that sacrifice as weakness, she said. That's not love, that's enabling. I learned that my conflict avoidance wasn't kindness. It was fear. Fear of confrontation. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being needed. Dr. Patel gave me homework, practice saying no to small things, rebuild boundaries. At work, something shifted. I actually focused on my career for the first time in years, took the lead on our new AI integration project. The CTO, Olivia, was impressed. Where has this Thomas been? She asked. I guess I've been hiding, I said. June, they offered me department head. Sarah's old role, restructured. I hesitated. Felt weird. Derek said, you earned this. Don't let her ghost steal your future. I accepted. 175,000 salary plus equity. July, I moved out of Derek's place into a modern one-bedroom downtown. Minimal furniture, clean lines, intentional choices. The townhouse with Sarah had been her aesthetic. This was mine. First time I'd lived alone as an adult. Morning coffee on the balcony. Silence, peace, small joys. I started playing guitar again. Hadn't touched one in 5 years. Sarah said we didn't have space for hobbies. Bought a new acoustic. Joined an adult rec soccer league. Reconnected with the version of myself I'd lost somewhere along the way. Derek became my actual best friend. Not just crisis support. We started weekly guys' night. Burgers, shitty action movies, honest talk. I'm proud of you, man, he said one night. You could have stayed stuck. I'm proud of me, too, I said, for the first time in years. September, I met Gabriella. Not a romance at first, just a connection that felt different. She's 35, a graphic designer, divorced 3 years ago. We're both regulars at this coffee shop downtown. Finally talked one day. She knew nothing about my story. What do you do for fun? She asked. Guitar, soccer, reading. I realized I had answers now. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have known what to say. We exchanged numbers, friend zone energy, but warm. October. She invited me to game night with her friends. I was nervous, hadn't socialized normally in months. Went anyway. Had a genuinely good time, wasn't performing, wasn't walking on eggshells, just existed as myself. November. Dr. Patel asked if I'd thought about forgiving Sarah. For what she did, I said. No, not for her, she clarified. For you. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It means releasing the anger that's taking up space you need for other things. I wasn't ready, but I wrote a letter I never sent. I don't hate you anymore. I pity you. You built a life on image and control, and when it crumbled, you had nothing underneath. I hope you find something real. I have. December. I gave my first presentation as department head, building ethical teams through trust and accountability. Some of Sarah's former reports were in the audience. They'd stayed at the company, got a standing ovation. Not because I was charismatic like Sarah, because I was genuine. Amanda approached after. This is what leadership should look like. Late December, I got a text from an unknown number. It's Sarah. I'm in therapy now. Real therapy. I don't expect you to respond. I just want to say, I'm sorry for all of it. You deserved better. I'm working on becoming better. I stared at that message for 10 minutes, showed it to Dr. Patel the next session. How do you feel? She asked. Neutral, I said. I believe she's sorry. I also don't care anymore, and that feels free. That's when I knew I'd actually healed, because her apology didn't change anything for me. I didn't need it. I'd already moved on. It's March 2025 now, 1 year since everything exploded. Sarah's still in Dallas, working at that fintech startup. Per Christine, who I hear from occasionally, she's in long-term therapy, reportedly doing inner work, seeing someone new, some accountant outside tech. No social media presence, deleted everything. I hope she's genuinely changing, but that's not my story to tell anymore. Kyle's still in Oregon. Checked his LinkedIn once out of curiosity, working at a local web development agency, not in corporate tech. His tagline, building simple, honest work. I sent him one final message in January. I hope you're well. You deserved better from both of us. He replied, thank you. I'm getting there. As for me, thriving. Department head, making $185,000. Got a raise in January. Team culture is completely different now. Psychological safety, transparency, no power games. Still playing guitar, wrote my first song in February. Soccer league team, made playoffs, close friendships with Derek, Gabriella, and people from work. Gabriella and I started officially dating in January, taking it slow. Both have baggage, but it's different. She challenges me, doesn't diminish me. I like that you have opinions now, she said last week. You don't just agree with me. I'm still learning. That's okay, I admitted. No talk of moving in together. Enjoying the pace. Learning what healthy partnership actually looks like. Last month, Sarah sent one more text. I know you won't respond, but I need to tell you. I finally understand what I did. I stole your youth, your confidence, your voice. I made you small so I could feel big. That wasn't love. It was abuse. I'm sorry. I read it. Felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, no sadness. Block the number. Not out of cruelty, out of closure. I don't need her apologies anymore. Found Sarah's old Women in Leadership Summit badge in a box last week while cleaning out storage. Thought about throwing it away. Instead, took it to the office, put it in my desk drawer. Reminder that image isn't integrity. Words aren't actions. Used it once in a team meeting. This badge represents everything leadership shouldn't be. Performance without principle. My team got it. They know the story vaguely. They respect that I lived through it and came out human. People ask me if I'd change anything. Honestly, no. Because that marriage taught me the most important lesson. Champions of equity don't get to pick and choose who deserves fairness. And neither do I. I chose fairness. For Kyle, for myself, for everyone Sarah manipulated. Some people will say I went too far. Maybe I did, but I'm sleeping at night. And I'm not small anymore. If you're reading this and you're in a relationship where you feel like you're shrinking, where your partner's success requires your silence, where supporting them means erasing yourself, leave, not eventually, now, because life's too short to be someone else's prop. You deserve to be the main character in your own story. This morning, I stood on my balcony at sunrise, coffee in hand, guitar leaning against the wall, city waking up below me, alone, at peace, and for the first time in over a decade, exactly where I want to be.